What's good, sports fanatics? Big Al here. Today is Friday, December 30th. Hope everyone's had a great week so far. We had a lot of sports going on this week, and I'm going to jump right into it with our top games. On Thursday night football in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys faced off against the Tennessee Titans in Nashville. Dallas was favored to win by 10 points. They ended up winning the game 27-13. Running back for the Cowboys, Zeke Elliott, scored a rushing touchdown during the game. He now has 9 straight games with a rushing touchdown. That ties the record for the Cowboys for most straight games with a touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith, who also had 9 straight games with a touchdown in 1995. Cowboys are playing well, but a fun fact that's not good for Cowboys fans: quarterback Dak Prescott now has thrown 14 interceptions on the season, which is tied for the league lead. The biggest issue there, he missed 5 games earlier this season. Are his interception issues going to be a problem during the playoffs? We'll see. I think it will. There was some crazy college football bowl games going on this week. The Oregon Ducks played the North Carolina Tar Heels and won the game 28-27. Quarterback for the Oregon Ducks, Bo Nix, threw a last-second touchdown to tie the game, and the extra point got them the dub. Oregon was favored to win by 14 points, and I picked Oregon to cover the spread, but they only won by 1 point, so I lost that bet. In the Alamo Bowl, Washington faced off against Texas. Texas was favored to win by 3.5 points. The Washington Huskies ended up winning the game 27-20. They covered the spread, which I had the bet on. Also, Washington is 11-2 on the season. They finished off with a great year and a lot of momentum headed into next year. In the 3 picks that I bet on this week, I ended up winning 2 of them and losing 1. In other news this week in the NBA, on Tuesday, the Dallas Mavericks faced off against the New York Knicks. The Mavs ended up winning 126-121 in overtime. During the fourth quarter, the Mavericks were down by 9 points with 35 seconds left and somehow made a comeback to tie it up to go to overtime. Mavericks star Luka Doncic made history. He is the first player in NBA history with at least 60 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists in one game. When asked after the game how he felt about those stats, he said, quote, "I feel tired as hell and I need a recovery beer." I'm feeling you on that one, Luka. I was tired as hell just watching you. In NFL news this week, the Las Vegas Raiders benched their star quarterback Derek Carr for the rest of the season. He actually left the team after finding this out so that, quote, he would not cause a distraction. The crazy part about this is that before the season started, the Raiders signed him to an extension for 3 years and $120 million. The Raiders are an absolute mess. After the news of Derek Carr's benching, now rumors are swirling of who's going to be their next quarterback, and guess whose name popped up? None other than Tom Brady. Raiders coach Josh McDaniels was the offensive coach for the Patriots during Tom Brady's glory years, so there definitely is a connection there. We'll see what happens this offseason. The best thing I saw in sports this week was in the Cheez-It Bowl, where Oklahoma faced off against Florida State. Florida State beat Oklahoma with a last-second field goal. Normally the team will celebrate by giving their coach a Gatorade bath, but not in this game. The team actually gave the coach a Cheez-It bath. Look at that. We've got a ton of games going on this weekend for the new year, and the theme of this weekend is football, football, football. We've got some big-time football games kicking off starting today. The number 6 Tennessee Volunteers face off against the number 7 ranked Clemson Tigers. This bowl game is called the Orange Bowl, and it takes place in Miami. Clemson's favored to win by 6 points, but I'm actually taking Tennessee to cover the spread on this one. On New Year's Eve, we've got the NCAA Football Championship semifinals. The first game is going to be Michigan facing off against TCU. This bowl game is called the Fiesta Bowl, and it's taking place in Glendale where the Cardinals play. Michigan's favored by 7.5 points, and I'm taking Michigan with a blowout on this one. In the second game of the semis, number 1 ranked and undefeated Georgia Bulldogs face off against the Ohio State Buckeyes. This bowl game is called the Peach Bowl, and it takes place in Atlanta, Georgia, where the Falcons play. Georgia's favored to win by 6.5 points, and I'm also picking Georgia to cover the spread on this one. In the NFL this weekend, we've got teams that are fighting for their playoff lives. The Miami Dolphins face off against the New England Patriots in New England. New England is favored to win by 2.5 points. Backup quarterback for the Dolphins, Teddy Bridgewater, will start this week because Tua is still out with a concussion. Even though Miami's playing with their backup quarterback, Bridgewater, I'm still picking Miami to cover the spread on this one. I know that Teddy can sling it, and I think Miami's offense is too much for the Patriots to handle. The Green Bay Packers, believe it or not, are still still in the playoff hunt after starting off the season on a rough note. They play against the Minnesota Vikings in Green Bay. The Packers are favored to win by 3.5 points, but I'm taking the Vikings here. I think quarterback Kirk Cousins, my boy Kirko, is going to have a big game and lead the Vikings to victory. The Pittsburgh Steelers are another surprise team that are still in the playoff hunt. They face off against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. The Steelers have won 4 of their last 5 games, but the Ravens are still favored to win by 2.5 points. I'm actually taking the Steelers on this one. I think they're going to pull it off. Fun fact about Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett, he actually slid in the draft because NFL executives feared that his hands were too small to be a successful quarterback in the NFL. Although he's got below average hands, he's got an above average heart, and he's been doing really well lately for the Steelers. On Saturday in college basketball, America's favorite college basketball team, the University of Arizona Wildcats, head up north to play the ASU Scum Devils. The spread is currently not available for this game, but I'm picking U of A to win 80-68. Fun fact about the U of A, they are going to be wearing a throwback uniform honoring the 1997 national championship team. Led by Miles Simon, the 97 Wildcats beat 3 number 1 seeds to win the national championship. It was one of the best runs in tournament history, and U of A is going to be wearing the same jerseys that they wore. I think those jerseys are going to give the Wildcats a lot of swag, and it's going to lead to a big win. All right, folks, that's all for the week. I'm going to be glued to the television this weekend watching sports, and I'm excited to touch base next week and let you know what happened. Hope everyone has a great new year, and we'll talk soon.